To do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even one step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down.
That's it, baby.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
It's caught by Treadwell. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short, and now it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Chubb on the counter. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
And he'll give it here to his running back.
Big time drive. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham there to make the grab. And the Browns have taken the lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times, just like the ticking time bomb, the longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. Draw play, Madison. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Shaw, complete. Smith has it. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Back to throw. Shaw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down. On 1st and 10, Shaw. He completes it to Treadwell. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 38. Looking to throw. Shaw. It's complete to Diggs. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Back to throw. Shaw. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. 2nd and 1. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop him.
He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
Bailey's kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. From the 30 on 2nd down, Mayfield. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. 2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. It's caught. Beckham. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put him on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. A gain there of 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 19 yards away. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Seibert on for the PAT. And with that, the lead is up to 8. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Looking to throw. Shaw, open man, is Thielen, it's complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The Vikings in the hurry up, they're hustling up to the line. 2nd and 6. And this one complete to Smith. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Hey, let's pin the mirrors back and go full street.
On 3rd and 2, Shaw. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Hey, let's go. Get excited. Let's go. Let's go. 14 yards.
First and 10 at the 38 line.
Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked out right there at the 20-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. It's been a tremendous season of football, but it's not over yet. One half remains to decide who will stand on the podium with the Vince Lombardi Trophy. And to call the second half, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. With a never-tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up.
And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defense is...
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Everson Griffin just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball gets super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Mayfield looks to throw. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Danielle Hunter in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player... disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And now out comes Minnesota. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And it'll be 1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. And now the Browns coming out on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Mayfield with a quick fire to Landry. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Right there, 54.
Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there'll be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game.
And got his man complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Give him 30 yards there. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it with Madison. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. To throw on 2nd down. Shaw. And Diggs has it. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 44-yard line.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 44-yard line. Here's Madison running on 1st down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Another carry now for Madison. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Not enough there for a 1st. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Off the play fake. Shaw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Olivier Vernon drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. It can be a thankless job sometimes to be a kicker, but they're thanking him right now. That's now 4 field goals. He's kept him in the game.
He sure has. That offense has got to find its rhythm because I'm not sure that just kicking field goals is going to allow them to win this game.
This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. But I think Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. They run it again with Chubb. And oh, my goodness, he loses it again. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll try and run with their fullback. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Mayfield to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield, and spilling everything.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, they run with Madison. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. And again, it's Chubb.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. When they need to play on third down, you kind of know what direction the ball's going, but the defense knew it too.
Yeah, it's a good call because they wanted to put 2 men on him, and they did. Dare him to throw into double coverage. Really what you're saying is, let's see if one of your other receivers can beat us.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. "12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings now heading onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Shaw, little pitch and catch here to Rudolph. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Going on the ground with Madison. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down in distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you think of, yeah, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
They give the Chubb out of the gun, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing. Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And now out comes Minnesota. Off play action. Shaw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he'll be taken down at the 18. He digs them partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12. Here's Shaw. Lets it fly for Treadwell. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They were trying to erase that deficit in one play.
They certainly were, but how about the reaction time and the instincts back deep to force the incompletion? We might need to mark this one down. We may look back and say, that was a game-saving play.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Landry, agile footwork. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Officially, no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Danielle Hunter able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
Let's go.
3rd and long for Mayfield. And he's going to go down again. Danielle Hunter, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Pushing his way through. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery, but on 4th down, a change of possession anyway.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, Shaw. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
On 1st down, Shaw. And this one to Treadwell, complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd down and inches. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Going to run with Madison again. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And the lead is up to 5. That time a 6-play drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Madison. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. A first down throw for Mayfield. This pass complete to Higgins. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Mayfield on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. He was trying to go back to Beckham there, and that'll bring up second down. A second down throw for Mayfield.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. He finds Beckham complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 21 yards there on third down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. That's out to Chubb, complete. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now Mayfield, back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Mayfield down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. Open man is Higgins. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and that will force a turnover on downs. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7. They'll run with Madison. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line.
Let's go, let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down. Shaw throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
Wait. 53, Mike. Know your job. He's coming.
Here's Madison. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. A 2nd down run for Abdullah. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Throwing on 1st down. Shaw. It's caught. Smith. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Less than 2 minutes remain here in Super Bowl 54. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to the ground on 1st down. Here's Madison. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now a give to Madison. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the handoff, it's Madison. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's kick.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
Here's Madison running left. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 46. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And they have done it. The Minnesota Vikings are the Super Bowl champions. And the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the land of 10,000 lakes. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.